Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and evening, depending on where you are in the world today. Thank you very much for joining the British Safety Council webinar. I'm Dr. Julie Riggs. I'm the Director of Education and Membership, and I will be your host today. But before we get started, just a few domestics, just to get the most out of this webinar. You'll see that we're using Zoom today, so we have a couple of functions on here that if you're not familiar with Zoom, just to sort of help navigate you through this system. So you can see that you have a mute and unmute microphone. If we can ask if you can mute your microphones if you're not talking. And also we like to see you, so please turn on your camera. You can also see we've got some chat facilities here. There'll be a chat panel, so you can engage with the team via the chat facilities. And you can also post questions and comments, and we'll be responding to any questions at the end of this session. You can also raise your hand and other emojis as well. Next slide, please, Natalie. And again, thank you. Next slide. So just an introduction into where we are. You will also see in the top right-hand corner a QR code at the top of this page. So you can scan that with your phone, which will lead you to an anonymous survey. So we'd love to hear from you. So let's take a quick look at our agenda today. And we're going to be starting with my colleague Stephen Cook, who's Head of Policy and Communications, talking about BSC comms and also our campaign work. And then you'll be meeting Sheila and Saz from our membership department, looking at how you can unlock the benefits for you. We then have Ben, Andy, and Sophie, who's going to be talking about our services and solutions. We have both Phil and Nisham from Krona Eye, talking a little bit about Krona itself and, again, how to access some of the benefits. We'll take a Q&A session at the end. And for any new members who are joining the session today, we're going to be running a little bit more of a practical session at the end, detailing how you can log into your account, how you can access the resources, including our e-learning as well. So let's start our session understanding about BSC communications and campaigning work with Stephen Cook.
Thank you, Julie. And hopefully people can see me. Yes, is that right? I can't see myself. Great. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. I'm going to give you an overview. I'm Stephen Cook, Head of Policy and Communications at British Safety Council. I'm going to give you a quick overview of our communications work and also, as Julie said, what we do around campaigning. So we've been an organisation with a legacy of campaigning since we were founded in 1957. Our founder, James Tighe, was known for his campaigning work. So it's a really key part of what we do on behalf of our members and as a key voice on health, safety and well-being. So I'll come on to that in a moment. If we can move to the next slide, please. So I'm going to talk about our publications briefly to start with, and we have a few different publications available to you as our members and also other people, our contacts in our network and other customers that use our services. But our main publication is our magazine, which is a monthly full colour publication containing news, features, views, opinion and best practice, both from British Safety Council and our internal experts, and also external contributors as well. And that's sent out every month as a magazine, and it comes out to your main contact's email. And then you can share that in your organization with your staff. And it contains, as I say, a lot of different articles and a whole range of contributors. So do check that out. It's also on our website as well, and you can see articles and so on there. As well as the magazine, we send out a best practice guide every month, and that goes out to our members as well, and a poster as well. And you get that at the beginning of the month emailed to you. And you can share that with your staff. You can put it up in your workplace every month. If we can move to the next slide. Our main campaign is Keep Thriving. Keep Thriving is our campaign around workplace wellbeing. It is all about encouraging best practice among employers and communicating around well-being in the workplace. Now, as part of Keep Thriving, we have also been running some free workshops. And in fact, we had the latest one yesterday in Manchester. and they're available to SMEs to sign up to and attend. And we're also, as part of Keep Thriving workshops, providing the opportunity to sign up to apply for an award, and that is £10,000. And it's all designed to tell and encourage people to create a well-being strategy. And the workshop is about exploring how to develop that strategy. So our best practice experts from Being Well Together lead these workshops, and they're face-to-face, and they're happening around the country. So if you're in Bristol or Edinburgh, or indeed Manchester, you will still have a chance to attend if you're an SME, and they're free of charge to any organisation to come along. And we will then invite you after a 6-month period has elapsed and you've had a chance to develop your wellbeing strategy, to apply for £10,000, which you can put towards implementing your wellbeing strategy as well. So it's a really good opportunity for people to get involved, to try out new ideas. And there on the screen, you can see a picture of the workshop that we held in London a few weeks ago. You can also see some of the organisations that last year, we've been doing these for over a year now, we awarded the £10,000 awards to. And they're all SMEs, some are charities, some are businesses, but they're all different kinds of organisations around the country there. So Keep Thriving is a way of communicating about wellbeing. It's clearly an important topic for us now alongside health and safety, but it's really about engaging employers like yourselves and others as part of our campaigning work to get them involved and to also upskill them and help them in terms of developing a strategy around wellbeing in their organisation. So if we can move to the next slide, please. We have other campaigns that we run as well. One's called Time to Breathe. That's our campaign around air pollution. We've been running that for a few years as well, and you'll see information on our website about that, as well as Keep Thriving. I should have said on Keep Thriving that you can sign up to Keep Thriving as well to support the campaign and join it. We have nearly 500 organisations now as part of that campaign, and they receive best practice emails and advice through that as well. Time to Breathe is about air pollution and the impact on outdoor workers. We also try and raise awareness, obviously, around other risks to workers as well. And recently, as you can see on the screen, we produced a guide and put that out on the risk of batteries, and particularly e-bikes and e-scooters, and the kinds of risks of fire and other risks related to storing and charging and keeping e-bikes and scooters in the workplace in particular. So this was a guide for employers, and we put that out, and we did it on National Battery Day, and we put it out in the media, and we did it on our social channels and communicated it to our members. So please do check that out on our website as well. You can find a lot of this under our campaigns and policy pages. We are also interested in other topics like the future of regulation, and we have campaigned over the last year or so around that in terms of the future of regulation around health and safety following Brexit and following leaving the EU. And that has been a matter of great debate, and we've had some success alongside other organisations in campaigning for that to be done differently and considered, and not obviously done with a kind of what we thought was a dangerous or reckless approach, which we thought the government was taking at the time. So we are very happy to campaign on policy if we think there are real risks to health, safety and well-being in terms of government policy and future policy in the UK. But we also obviously have a view internationally as well. So we can move to the next slide, please. The latest publication we've put out regarding policy is our manifesto. Now, this manifesto we published on the 20th of March. You can find it on our website in the campaigns and policy area. And it's a manifesto ahead of the next general election. And it's setting out in 4 different areas: well-being, regulation, technology and the future of work, and skills. You will see in there 7 different policy calls that we've got in our manifesto as well on health, safety and well-being. And We are going to continue to communicate these, and we're going to do more around this as we go towards the next general election, whenever that may be. So do keep an eye out for that as well, and please do download it from our website. It's quite a short publication. It's an A5 size. We've also printed it and sent it out to all MPs and some peers that we engage with in the House of Lords as well. But we'll continue to make the most, if you like, of this manifesto during the coming months. So you will see more, I'm sure, about that as well. And I think I will stop there. So please do check out our website. Do sign up to Keep Thriving in our campaign around wellbeing, and do get involved. We're always interested in case studies or featuring examples of what you're doing, or indeed articles by our members as well in our magazine that I mentioned earlier. So there's lots of opportunities for you to get involved with our work around communications and campaigning as well. And without further ado, I will now pass over to Sheila. Sheila Lacey is our business service process manager, and she will be talking to you about our member benefits and what you can take advantage of. Sheila.
Thank you very much, Stephen. As my colleague Stephen mentioned, I'm Sheila Lacey. I'm the business process manager at the British Safety Council, and I'm going to go through the membership benefits you receive. Next slide, please, Lisa. As part of the core benefits for the membership, once you become a member of the British Safety Council, you have access to an online account where you can access all your benefits. So please make sure to look out for an email which will be sent to you. If you are a current member of the British Safety Council, you can log into your account at any time. If you've forgotten your password at all, just visit our website and click on Lost Forgotten Passwords, and you'll be able to receive an email so you can set up your account again. The username is your email address, just to let you know. Also, as part of your membership, you will receive a membership certificate. This will be sent via digital version to you straight away once you make payment as a new member, and also when you renew your membership. There's also member logos that you can access and download via your online account. There's various different options for you, so please make sure to go and visit your account to download the logos. These can be used to demonstrate your commitment to the British Safety Council and show anyone out there that you feel that health and safety is very important. You can display your membership certificate and your logo on your website. People use them on business cards, their tender documents, and also company merchandise. Please, as my colleague Stephen mentioned earlier, you will receive a monthly safety management magazine. This is accessed via a link through an email, but also at any point in time, you can log into your online account and you can access any past magazines as well. You can download the magazine there and send it to your colleagues so they can actually read the magazine as well. This will help them look at features, which has lots of thought-provoking news. There's profiles in there. There's any information with regards to health, safety, wellbeing, and environmental issues. So please make sure to look out for the email and also just log into your account and have a look there. Next slide, please. As part of the core benefits, you also have access to Coronari Navigate Safety Portal, which you can log into at any point via your membership online account. Our colleague Nishan and Philip will go through the actual service itself and show you what it looks like later in the actual webinar. So they'll be able to show you what you can access. There's toolkits on there, there's step-by-step guides. They will show you more in depth. As part of that, you also receive an e-alert, which will be sent to your email on a Thursday. So please make sure to look out for that. There's all different topics on there. There's links on there that you can see up and coming information on any changes in health and safety and wellbeing. So please make sure to look out for this on your email. You also, as part of your membership, you will receive a monthly member newsletter. And also there is a policy newsletter as well. So this is emailed to you each month. So please make sure to look out for that and take advantage of all the information. It will tell you about upcoming events that you can expect, any webinars that we have, any reminder. It will remind you of your benefits just to make sure you're actually using all of them and taking advantage of them. You also have access to 100 free digital learning licenses. And these are courses from anything from manual handling to fire safety. There's various different options. So please make sure to log into your account and claim your licenses. The licenses are actually determined on your membership and how long the duration is. So if you have a 1 year, you get 100 licenses. If you have a 2 year, you get 200 licenses. And if you have a 3 year, you have 300 licenses. So please make sure to take advantage of these and use them. Also, as part of the membership, we have sector interest groups, which you can become a part of. So please make sure to take a look at your online account. It will tell you about the various sector interest groups we have, and you can become and take advantage of them. We also have a webinar program that you can actually take advantage of. So please make sure to look out for any up and coming webinars on the member newsletter and make sure to register for them, and also tell any of your colleagues so they can actually take advantage of the webinar. It may not be a webinar that you are actually interested in yourself, but always make sure that anyone you know within your company who will be of interest to that webinar, that they take advantage of it. Next slide, please. We also have 2 separate modules as well as part of the membership package. We've got the tools and templates module, which is the A5 online guides. And this is various guides that you will receive on a monthly basis. This will be as part of when you have your email for your safety management magazine. There also will be a link so you can access the online guides as well. So please make sure to look out for them. Also, as well as being able to download the safety management magazine at any point in time, send them to your colleagues, you can also go into your online account and look at back issues of the guides. So there is a lot in there, so please make sure to have a look. There's also themed posters as well, which is part of the guide as well. They will be themed against the safety management magazine that month, so please make sure to check them out. We also have employee guides on there for you as well. So they'll tell you about best practice. So please take advantage, download them, send them to your colleagues, use them for inductions, and things like that. That's what our members use them for. We also have our advice module, which is unlimited access to 24-hour health and safety information, and also HR support line. And this is manned by Corona-RI, who is one of our business partners. So please make sure to take advantage of all your membership benefits. If you've got any queries at all about anything to do with your membership, you want to update any information, you want to check stuff with us, please make sure to email us at membership@britsafe.org and we can answer any of your questions. Thank you very much for your time. I will put you through to my colleague, Saz, who is our Membership Business Support Manager. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheila. Just good morning, everyone. Just a quick one from myself. Everyone that are currently members with us, you should have received your membership login details or the key contact of that person who are members with us. If you haven't, if you could please contact membership@britsafe.org. And also from my side is if you need any sort of updates towards your account to see if it is currently live at the moment, just feel free to contact myself directly or membership@britsafe.org. But other than that, everyone should be up and running. And if you need any other support, just feel free to get in touch with membership@britsafe.org. And just that is from myself. I'll pass you over to Ben now, who will talk about the other services that we can offer. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the membership webinar to brand new members and any existing members that have joined the webinar for the first time. My name is Ben Omani. I lead the UK sales team across audit training and consultancy. I'm going to talk briefly this morning around our audit products, specifically our occupational health and safety and environmental audits on our 5-star model, and then briefly touch on some of the consultancy and certification products that we offer. So our own brand 5-star audit is a unique 5-star audit model that objectively evaluates occupational health and safety management systems. So it's a best practice audit, so it goes kind of well beyond just standard compliance and certification. We offer a comprehensive and contemporary, globally recognised audit model utilised by companies across the globe, so UK, Europe, Middle East, India, and North America. We rely very much on a highly experienced pool of auditors and experts to give cross-sectoral learnings, providing diverse perspectives and resources to our audit customers, providing quantified outcomes and in benchmarking against different industries across the board. We, as a takeaway from each audit that we offer, we will provide detailed recommendations, unlike some other audits that you may have experience of. So the audit product, as I mentioned briefly, we offer 2 separate audit products that I'm going to talk about anyway, across occupational health and safety and environmental management. They are very similar in their approach, but obviously the detail within them is quite different. So it's a fairly rigorous process to audit your health and safety management or environmental management systems against global best practices. We begin with a review of your occupational health and safety documentation, and our auditor will review all aspects of the organisation's health and safety management processes, supportive arrangements against the requirements of our 5-star audit specification. We conduct interviews with management, staff, key stakeholders across the organisation, and during the audit process, the management staff and other stakeholders will be interviewed as agreed on aspects of health and safety performance relevant to their roles and responsibilities. We offer site tours, inspections and operational sampling across their health and safety management system. Our auditor will also assess the effectiveness of the implementation of these arrangements through an inspection of relevant agreed sites and sampling of operational activities. We start with an opening meeting, end with a closing meeting with all the key stakeholders, then offer on a scoring system. So we would have the 5-star is best in class, excellent, but even so, our specification evolves on a yearly basis to ensure that it's not we're not holding you against the same processes and standards as the previous year. We're always, one of our key tenets of the 5-star audit is that we are always looking for improvements and looking for organisations to think ahead and always look at how they can improve. Aside from the 5-star audit itself, we offer consultancy around occupational health and safety and environmental management. A typical journey may involve us doing a gap analysis initially before embarking on a 5-star audit, so that we can come out to you and look at how you are currently managing your health and safety systems and how you're managing your environmental systems, and ensure you are best placed to undertake an audit. We will work with you on that journey to ensure that you are sort of aiming for best in class. We also offer consultancy, gap analysis and certification around the international standards of 14001 and 45001, which obviously fit well within environmental and occupational health and safety. I mean, that's kind of a very brief overview of the services that we offer around audit and consultancy. And please do feel free to contact myself. My email address, which will be in the follow-up email, but if you want to note it down now, is ben.omani@britsafe.org, or you can contact Saz, who I'm sure that you will all have his contact details, and you'll be able to And we will then be able to put you in contact with one of our strategic account managers who can talk you through the scope and the specification of those audit products. Thanks very much for your time. I will now pass you over to our digital learning manager, Andy Keane, who will talk you through our training offerings.
So, as he mentioned, I'm the digital learning manager, so in charge of all our kind of online training, but we're going to go through all the different delivery methods that we have today so that you can have a good understanding of what we can offer. So as you can see, we do deliver courses from a wide range of companies. So ourselves, we kind of put all the syllabuses together and develop and deliver ourselves. We do training from IOSH, NEBOSH, IEMA and Mental Health First Aid England. To mention about IOSH, we run the Working Safely and Managing Safely. We have a course. We're the only supplier who can do this course, and we have an online assessment. So traditionally, students would go through the course and then they'd have to download a paper document that they fill out, upload, it gets graded by a marker, and then they send that off and they get the result back. So we've completely streamlined the process of that. It's an automated process that they go on, do the assessment online, it gets graded instantaneously, they get the results, and we're now also using online certificates with IOSH. Again, we're one of the kind of early adopters of that. So if you're looking at IOSH Managing Safely training, the process with the British Safety Council is really smooth and really good going. And then yeah, if we could click on to the next slide, please. We can deliver all of our courses face to face, so where you can either go in company or public. So we come to you or you come to us, where we have training sessions put around the country. And then virtual classroom, which is similar to this on Zoom. The trainer will facilitate the delivery and students can join from wherever. And then again, we can do that publicly and in company. And then digital learning, all of our digital learning courses where it's kind of self-paced, where you come on, you buy on our system, you go onto our learning zone, which is our platform. All of our training is also available on, if you have an LMS yourself, we can put our school packages on there for you, and you can kind of run all your training from your own systems rather than having to get your employees to log onto ours. And we kind of online have a wide range from kind of awareness training, which is the courses that you guys get as your 100 free for becoming members of us, all the way up to kind of full health and safety qualifications, and everything in between. So that's good. So next slide, please. All of our students, no matter how you study, will get access to the online training courses that we produce. And in that, you get access to what we call the Study Support Hub. So that gives you access to tutors, assessments, forums. So any student with us will be able to kind of go on there, find out all they need to know for their kind of what the assessments they need to do, but also if they have any questions on the content, they can either go on the forums and see if there's anything in there, but also they'll be able to have sessions with our tutors, which will run either before a NEBOSH exam, for instance. We'll have a session where people can book onto, but also you just have that quick access to our tutors to kind of ask any questions that your kind of employees doing any training with us will have. Okay, next slide. So on the screen, you can see some examples of some of the assets that we create internally. All of our courses are produced internally by our educational design specialists, working really closely with our internal experts in health and safety. We really put a lot of effort and emphasis in our learning design. We have a lot of pride in the content that we produce. We believe e-learning is wherever you look for e-learning, it says that it's engaging, but we find that that's not always true. But we really do put a lot of effort into making really good learner experiences. And all of the information on all of our courses can be found on our website, and on some of our longer qualifications, there's demos where we give you free access to kind of a module of the course, so you can kind of get a feel for it before you commit to buying and things like that. So that's kind of it for training. I'm going to hand over to Sophie Snell now. She's our organisational wellbeing consultant, and she's going to be discussing being well together with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Yes, so as Andy's just explained, my name's Sophie. I am the organisational wellbeing consultant here at the British Safety Council. So Being Well Together is the wellbeing brand of the British Safety Council. And what we do is we collaborate with organisations to help identify your key people risks and really work with you on your wellbeing journey. Sorry, next slide, please. You'll be able to see on screen there, that's just a bit of an overview in terms of some of our specialist services, but, you know, experience that we can draw upon. So you can see there, it's we've got audit, our consultancy services. They really are bespoke to the needs and requirements of the organisations that we work with. So this is just a brief overview of some of our capabilities. We've got education programs. Obviously, you've just heard there from Andy around, you know, what we try to achieve and strive to achieve with our education programs, you know, across all levels in the business. So employees, managers, leadership teams, you know, it's really important for us that we make it the best experience possible. And we've also got our Being Well Together programme, and that basically, it's great for organisations if they're particularly at the start of their journey. You know, if you're looking to implement and inform your health and safety wellbeing strategy, it really helps to sort of bring it all together. So do you want to just move on to the next slide for me? Because I don't want to sit here and talk about everything that we do. It'd be quite boring. And it really is about you and what you need support with. So if you are interested in finding out more, we can arrange a free 30-minute consultation, whether that's via Teams, Zoom, or a phone call. Then our contact details are there on screen, and it'll either be with myself or somebody else in the Being Well Together team. So mine's nice and short and sweet. I'll pass you on to Philip and Nishan from our partner, Corona-I. Thank you very much.
Is that the one? Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name's Phil. Thanks for joining us. I'm the head of partnerships for Corona-I, and I'm just come on board today to tell you about some of the freebies that you get with us, given the partnership that we have with the British Safety Council. So there's a couple of things that we're doing. Mainly, it's just around content and webinars. I'm going to pass you over in a minute to Nishan, who's going to give you a run through of the things that you can get for free. And we'll post a little link in the chat so you can register for that if it's of interest. But also on the webinars front, it's another thing that you'll be seeing coming through to you in newsletters and different types of content that we've got as well. So, for example, last month we had one on fire safety, so keep your eye out for those. Also, Nishan now will go through the content for you on the health and safety side. We do have some environmental content as well. So anything that's of interest, you know, please register and we'll send you all the free content through. But enough from me, and I'll pass you over to Nishan now.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Phil. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just share my screen for everybody. So a key benefit that you get through the British Safety Council is actually getting access to our Safety Light platform. So if I go ahead and share my screen, I can actually show you exactly what this looks like here. So can everybody see my screen here? Maybe a thumbs up or. Yep, okay, amazing. Brilliant. So this is your Navigate Safety Lite platform. So as I mentioned just now, it's a key benefit that you do get with the British Safety Council. So if you haven't sort of seen this before, or you haven't got access to it, don't worry. Every British Safety Council member is entitled to their own onboarding session with one of our development managers, such as myself, and we can basically get you set up with this sort of in a matter of minutes. So don't worry about that. So the first thing to mention with this Lite platform, you may or may not have been receiving it already, but you are going to be receiving weekly e-alerts from us and the Navigate Safety team. So this is really just a way in which we sort of like to keep you up to date with information rather than you having to spend time going online or actively checking different topics yourselves. So the first thing you'll see here is the Safety Lite introduction. You've got a hot topic on the right-hand side. Now, if we go down, you'll see the key reference content as well. So as mentioned previously, you'll get access to some of our toolkits, Q&A section. So this is where our content team have sort of gone online, seeing sort of the hot topics in the industry and any sort of hot or prevalent questions that are being asked. And they've actually taken it upon themselves to answer them for you guys. So you've got that all on here, just at your fingertips. So there's your whole section here. It's also broken down by a subject as well. So if there's a specific sort of area you want to refine on or really sort of understand a bit more about, you can do that here. Okay. Now, if I just go back here, as I mentioned, you also get your toolkits. So this is just a brief glance of each of your toolkits that you will be receiving. So the best thing I would say with this platform is to go in, sort of try and break it really, go through, play around with it, see what you like with it. But what we really like to do is just provide you a sort of one-stop shop where you're able to get everything. Okay. Now, finally, if we just sort of go through here, you've got your health and safety management. So these are all the sort of main topics I'm sure many of you will be familiar with. It gets broken down into subcategories. So you can really go in and understand a bit more about this here. So you've got your information on sort of what is relevant to that topic. You've got your quick facts. Now, as you are exploring it, you may see little keyed off areas. These are just areas that are only available on the fuller version. Now, the good news is the British Safety Council members do receive the fuller version for quite a high preferential rate. But my advice would always be to start with a light, play around with it and see what you think. Now, if we go just a bit further down here, you get your supporting information for your ISO standards. Occupational health, which was mentioned previously in the webinar, is also supported through here, and then your facility management too. So really what we try to do is sort of provide everything in one for you, sort of coupled up with your featured articles and your toolkits. It's a nice place to sort of start in terms of sort of centralizing your health and safety. Okay. Now, in relation to what else is offered through Corona Eye, as I mentioned, there is also a fuller version. So it's completely down to you if you want to have a look at that. We, as Phil said, we will post a link in the chat anyway. If you haven't had an onboarding session yet of the Lite, feel free to fill in that form and then we can do that for you. And if you want to have a look at the other services that Corona Eye offer as well, such as our legal registers, our legislation trackers, we can also do that for you too. Okay, but overall, that's pretty much what the Safety Lite entails. We do also have another version, the environment version, which is quite similar, and they'll be coupled up with their e-alerts. And just finally, just to show you a little bit of what the full version will look like, it looks pretty much the exact same, but you just get other tools like this. But my advice would always be fill out the form. We want to make sure that you guys are utilizing all of your British Safety Council benefits. And if it's complimentary and you get some freebies, why not? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass you back to my colleague who will then continue with the slides. But have a look in the chat. We're going to paste in that link for you now. So feel free to fill out that form and then a member of our team will get in touch with you. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, so that was a lovely overview of Corona Eye as well, and we know that many of our members make great use of it. I would say sort of the e-alerts that come out and so forth are fantastic. So thank you very much for a lovely overview there. Okay, so we're going to have a look at some of our questions that we've had coming through today. So let's have a quick look. So we've got our first question from Julie. Great name, Julie. Our first question is, can you do the Keep Thriving online? I'm going to address that to Stephen, if possible, please, Stephen.
Hi, Julie. Can you see me again on screen?
We can indeed.
Hello. Hey. Yeah, thanks very much, Julie, for your question. It's a really good one. I mean, I think I did talk about the workshops, which I think you're referring to, that we're running as part of Keep Thriving at the moment. Now, we're doing those face-to-face this year on a pretty much monthly basis. And as I said, we've got a few more to run, and they are dotted around the country. We did do these online last year, actually, and we moved face-to-face this year as a kind of different way of doing these. But they're in Bristol on the 29th of April, in Edinburgh on the 14th of May, and then back in Manchester on the 6th of June. So in that sense, they're sort of spread around the country. Obviously, it depends where you are based, Julian. I don't know where your organisation or your particular base is. However, in future, we may well do these online again. So if you miss out on them this time, there may be something similar in the future. Or indeed, if you're really interested in well-being and developing your well-being strategy, do talk to Sophie or one of the members of the Being Well Together team as well. And I'm sure there are different ways as well that you can take advantage of our services and help in terms of that as well. I hope that helps to answer your question.
Thank you, Stephen. And actually, while you're here, we have another question for you as well. So we have another attendee. If you have developed any guidance, instruction, or toolbox talks on these campaigns, would you be able to share them?
Sure. I mean, I think the best place to look is on our website. We have the campaign pages for Keep Thriving and for Time to Breathe on the website under campaigns and policy. In there, you'll see there are some resources. I would say there is a bit of best practice in there in terms of our manifesto as well, in terms of what we'd like to see. You would also see, if you look at our policy pages, some reports that we've done previously, and anything there in relating to sort of wider publications. So do check out online on the website. I think that's probably your best place to start. And obviously, if you do want to follow up or have any further questions, you can always email policy@britsafe.org, and we'll come back to you on any questions that you have.
Brilliant. Thanks, Stephen. Sheila, I have a question for you about how we can access the digital learning licenses in such a group interest.
Yeah, sure. I was going to be coming to that when we looked at in the next section. But if you go on to your online account, there is a place where you can claim the licenses there. Because we have quite a few different courses, it gives you a chance to just choose the ones you require. So it's anything from fire safety to manual handling to our remote workers. So you just claim in your online account. If you don't happen to have access to your online account at that point and you're somewhere else, you can just email into membership@britsafe.org and let us know what courses you wish to have, and we can add them for you. So not a problem, whichever way is easier for you, really.
Okay, thank you very much. We've had a couple of questions about do our training programs come with certificates? And the answer is yes. Generally, if it's an IOSH or a NEBOSH type of program or IEMA, we will issue certificates from the examination body. With our sort of BSc courses and our digital courses, we have attendance certificates for those as well. Let's have a look at some of the other questions. So Julie, do you do NEBOSH diploma and IOSH for directors and executive dual purpose with face-to-face and online? So we absolutely do NEBOSH diploma. We have an incredible pass rate for that. The last figures we saw coming in were around about 90% pass rate. But we do it sort of online, remote delivery with a tutor, which is fantastic rates from that. And we can do face-to-face if making inquiry for in company. And IOSH for directors and execs, we're just about to offer that actually. We have our own BSc leadership course for sort of senior leaders, health and safety for directors and senior leaders that we run, which has been really popular, really interactive course. But we're actually also just about to offer IOSH for directors and execs. So if you come and talk to us, we can have a chat with you around what that product looks like. And again, we can do lots of different delivery methods, from blended to kind of face-to-face to remote delivery as well. So not a problem. Very happy to discuss sort of any needs that you have. Sheila, I've got another question for you actually. Is it possible to have another login for a colleague to access your services?
Currently on our system, we can only have one main point of contact. What some companies do is they use a generic email address instead of their own. So if you wish to change the key contact to generic email, so a couple of people can have access and also receive all the emails into that particular email account, then just email into membership@britsafe.org and we can arrange that for you. Not a problem at all.
Brilliant, thanks Sheila. And I've got another question here. Can we have some more options from the free courses? My company has exhausted the shortlisted training. So we are actually having a bit of a review around the courses at the moment. So we will sort of refresh where we think. But what I would say is do have a look and do come and have a chat with us as well. We have some great sort of digital courses at really good value as well. You'll see sort of our portfolio of digital courses growing certainly over the next 12 months as well. So please come and have a chat with us about that. Emmanuel, I can see that you have your hand raised there. Is there any other questions beyond? I see you put a few questions in there about the training program with certificates. Is there anything additional that you would also like to add to that? No, that's fine. If there is, then obviously please do not hesitate to drop it into the comment box as well, and we can pick up from there. Okay, so I think we've answered the majority of the questions, which is great. But obviously, if you do have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to our team if we can help in any way. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to actually pass you back to the lovely Sheila, who is going to give you a lovely overview about the practical way of how you can access our portal and gain access to our benefits. So across to Sheila.
Thank you very much, Julie. Next slide, please, Natalie. So when you become a member, or if you're currently a member of the British Safety Council, to access your benefits, which are all digitally based, visit our website, click on to log in, and log in as you would expect. Your username is your email address. As I mentioned earlier, if you've forgotten your password, just click on forgotten password and you'll get a link so you can reset your password, not a problem at all. When you log into your account, on the left side of the screen, what you'll see is this little drop down here with various different options. And under downloads is where you download your members logo. So please go in and take a look. There's different options. There's a couple of different colors as well for you to use. As mentioned, our 100 free e-learning places. Click into here. This is where you can claim your licenses. There'll be a list of all the courses there. Just put the number of licenses you wish to have for each course. And what will happen is the team will add the licenses to your Learning Zone account. And then you will receive an email which will confirm the licenses have been added for you. Then you will need to just log in again into your online account into the portal. You can read your safety management magazine here. So at any point, just please come in and log in here to access the magazine, but also past issues, as I mentioned before, and download copies and send them to your colleagues. The Corona Eye services are accessed through the Corona Eye portal here. So just click into here, click into the button, and that will take you to Navigate Safety Light. So please make sure to go in and check that out. Also, don't forget about the e-alerts that will come out on a Thursday. We also access your tools and templates package here, and that's the guides and that's the posters and also the templates for risk assessment via risk assessment. The advice module is where you access the telephone number for the advice line. So you can go in there and it has a little bit of information in there for you. And also for our sector interest groups, there's a link in there where you can see the actual sector interest groups we currently have. And if you wish to take part, just click into there. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, you can claim your e-learning licenses through the online account. And once you have done that, under the Purchase and Subscriptions tab, if you click into there, what you'll notice is Access Your Training Courses. This is kind of a separate portal, which is used for all our e-learning courses. So no matter what course you have, you'll be going through to the Learning Zone to access it. Just click into that. And what you are, as you are the main point of contact, you will be added as the administrator. So first of all, you'll be the person who'll be able to add users and enroll them in courses. But you also can actually add colleagues as administrators as well. So we understand that maybe you are the health and safety manager and you don't have the time to actually administrate this. You can ask one of your colleagues to do that. So you just go in, when you add your user, add them as the organization manager. And then when they come in, they'll be able to access all this on the dashboard as well. When they're a learner, all they will see is the tab My Learning, and they just click in there and complete their courses. But if they are an administrator, they'll be able to see everything else. So this is where you add your users. So when you come in, you'll see the dashboard first of all. Click on My Users, and then you're able to add colleagues singly. So with their name and also email address. Everybody needs an email address because they will be sent a unique username and password. So please make sure that, obviously you add their email address. If you have colleagues who don't actually have an email address individually unique to them, there is a way you can do it through a Gmail account. So if in any doubt, just drop us an email at membership@britsafe.org and we can explain how you're able to do this as well, because we want to make sure that everybody, even if they don't have an email address, can access it at least to do the courses that you require them to do. You can also add multiple users as well, and that's via a CSV file. There's an explanation on how to do that on the system as well. So whichever way you want to do it, because sometimes you might not need to add lots of people, so just use the add single. Next slide, please. Once you've enrolled all the users on the course that you've added all the users on the course, now you can enroll them on the courses. So how you do this is click onto Course Access, and then what you'll see is it will have, as per the bottom here, a list of all your colleagues you've added. There's a list of all the courses that they can actually complete. And then at the far right, what you'll see is a box. And under this is where you select to enroll them. So click on the people and the course that you would like to enroll them on. And then click on enroll. And then what will happen is they will each receive an email. This will give them their unique username, password, also give them a link to the course that they need to complete. And then what they can do is they can go in, log in, and obviously complete the course. We also, at the bottom of the email, have the email address of the administrator. So they know that it's not actually, that they can actually complete it, and it's someone from their company who actually requested them to complete the course as well. So that's something helpful as well. So they know it's from actually you. So next slide, please. Once your colleagues are actually going in and completing their courses, how you'll be able to see their performance is by clicking under Reports and Performance Report. And then what this gives you is it will give you a list of people who have completed, who are in progress, who have started. Also, if you scroll to the far right of the page, you'll be able to download a copy of their completion certificate as well. You can actually download it into a report for Excel as well, so you can look at who's completed, who hasn't. And also, when your colleague finishes their course, at the end, they will be able to download their own certificate as well. So as well as you having a copy, they'll be able to have a copy as well. Under email tracking, this actually helps you see all the emails that have actually gone to all your colleagues. So you'll be able to check there and make sure that they're all going out. And under course licenses, you'll be able to see all the courses that you have access to. It will also let you know how many course licenses you've used and how many you still have access to. So please make sure to look at that. Next slide, please. I don't think there is another slide. Yep, that's it. So if you have any questions at all about any of your membership benefits, you're not too sure, you want to ask questions, please make sure just to reach out to us at membership@britsafe.org. If you're not too sure if you claimed your licenses or you want to make sure to claim your licenses, please make sure to go in there. Make sure to use all the benefits we showed you today. We want to make sure you take advantage of them so you can actually use these for, helping you in any shape or form. Thank you for your time. I'll hand you back to my colleague Julie. Thank you very much.
Sheila. But before you disappear, we actually have a question from Jeremy about, can we preview the free training courses?
We do have a demo site, so I can arrange for you to have access to that. If you just email membership@britsafe.org and put my name on it, say to Sheila, I can arrange that for you, not a problem.
That's great. Thank you very much, Sheila. And I would just echo that as well around any of our sort of particularly digital products. If you want to see any of those, particularly, I know we've had some conversations about MEBOSH and IOSH as well. More than happy with regards to allowing you to have access to our demo site and see exactly what your members will see. And which is important. We pride ourselves on the quality, so that's really important for us to showcase that. Thank you very much, Sheila. That was a great overview. And as Sheila says, please do not hesitate to get in contact with us if we can help as you navigate around that system. So we're coming to the end of our system, our actual webinar today. And the British Safety Council, in partnership with CronerEye, is all about supporting you with quality solutions and consultation, and also being a voice in the industry to campaign and make positive changes. And it's all about, our ultimate aim is to ensure that no one should be injured or made ill through their work. So thank you very much for my colleagues presenting today. And on behalf of all the team, we'd like to thank you for attending and wish you a lovely rest of the day. Thank you.